sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just a perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sunny days, sunny days, sunny days. No clouds in the sky, but again, away feels like it's been a...
Welcome back to another episode of The Social Beaches. I'm Kelly Bowling.
I'm Carolyn Smith.
And we're with the Coastal Estate team at Compass. We sell real estate in Brevard County and Indian River County, also known as the Space Coast in Brevard County.
Yes.
And if you're looking to buy, sell, or you just have general real estate questions, we'd love to answer those for you. You can give us a call at 321-422-2160, or you can text that number. You can also send us an email at hello@coastalestateteam.com. Or you can leave us a comment where you're watching us, send us a DM. We will get back to you. We do read all of those.
We do. Even the mean ones.
Yes. Always the mean ones. Those are fun. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about beach etiquette because we are surrounded by 72 miles of coastline here in Brevard County.
Come visit.
Yes. Beautiful beaches here. We have crowded beaches if that's your jam. We also have kind of desolate beaches if that's your jam. Those are mine. And the do's and don'ts of going to a beach.
That's right, because it is summertime. And
it is, and the beaches are crowded.
The beaches are crowded, but we do have lots of empty. The beach near me is very quiet. There's no one there.
Same. The one by my house is usually pretty quiet.
If you look, you can find a great beach. And we have deep water, and we have sandbar type areas where you can walk really far out.
There's some areas that are kind of rocky, so not great for swimming and surfing, but there are some really excellent surf spots.
That's right.
Paddleboarding, that sort of thing too.
Yeah. Kelly Slater's from here.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I mean, world-class champion there.
Yeah.
So,
and he's not so he's easy on the eyes.
He is, yeah. I was like, he's 50? No way. Wow.
I think he just retired.
Yeah. And then we also have Caroline Marks.
Yes.
So she's a champion surfer as well.
They have a new guy, a new little kid.
Yeah, I don't know his name yet.
I can't remember his name. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first rule, when you go to the beach, you got all your gear and you're looking for a spot to sit down. Where are you going to go? How about not right next to the only person that's out there on the beach? This happens all the time.
It happens.
Why?
The beach, on the deserted beaches, you go, you're the first person there, you set down your stuff, you have your little area, somebody else comes down, they have the entire beach. As far as I can see, they can go anywhere.
Yes.
And they literally put their stuff right next to you.
You know, this is akin to being in an empty parking lot.
Yes.
And you've parked somewhere, and then there's all these spaces, and then sure enough, there's a minivan full of children, and it's got to park right next to you. And now what do you have to do? You have to wait for them to all get the heck out of the car before you can exit your vehicle.
Yeah.
Why is that? This happened to me yesterday.
Did it happen to you?
At the library.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
It's really annoying at the beach because part of going to the beach is just enjoying the peacefulness.
The peace and quiet, just listening to the waves and the breeze. Yeah.
You see, we love it. We love it, and we don't love people right next to us. Not that if it's really busy and that's the only spot,
we understand.
Yeah.
But that's just typically not the case here.
It's really
where we go.
weird. Mm-hmm. It is weird how people do that. So, yeah.
Yes.
The next thing is pay attention to the wind direction when you're packing up to go, because most of us still a lot of people do bring a chair down, but they still have a towel that's gotten full of sand, and they decide that the best place to shake that out is right in front of you, wherever you are, that the wind is going to blow all that sand right into your face, all over your stuff. Either take the towel, wad it up the dune, go to the crosswalk, shake it out there, shake it out.
Parking lot.
Next to your car, right? If you're walking home, we both can walk to the beach. So, just shake it out somewhere far away from people.
Yes.
Because sand gets in your eyes. It's painful.
It's not fun. Even with sunglasses, it'll still sneak in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it's like you're in mid-sentence, you're talking and it's in your mouth. No.
Don't do that. Yeah.
The next one is don't feed the birds. There's a plethora of birds on the beach, all sorts of different birds. But when you feed them, guess what? They come back for more, and the whole flock, just all swarm you. It's like you're in an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
And they're not on the ground. They're up, coming down, so they're all flying above you. And what happens when they're above you?
Crapped on. They say that's a
Can you believe us? You get shit on.
You get shit on. And nobody wants to be shit on by a seagull. It's happened to me before. They say that's good luck. I did not feel like I was lucky that day.
No. No, it's disgusting. And they're usually right in your hair.
And let me tell you,
Yeah.
this is graphic, but when you get crapped on by a bird that, is living over the ocean
Yes.
and eating sea life, guess what?
Smells.
It smells like dead fish.
Yes. It's
Yep.
gross. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
do that. Don't feed the birds. Don't come and be we love tourists. We do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just the tourists that are guilty of this. There's
Yeah.
some local people that have some interesting behaviors at the beach.
Don't do that. Watch your kids.
Please.
And we live, so if you're on the other, even if you were on the other coast, but if you're on the Gulf Stream side, if you're on the Gulf side, that's not the ocean, that's the Gulf. And
Yeah.
it's very calm.
It
It's
is
very
calm. It's warm.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
We have waves here. We're on the Atlantic Ocean. There's rip tides. There's rip currents. There are things that are dangerous. And
Sharks.
I grew up here, and I will just say, my mom, we were little, she took us to the beach every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, packed a cooler. We spent all day at the beach, both days. And my little brother went out, and he was playing at the shoreline, and some big waves came in, and he was little. And he ended up getting kind of sucked out, and she had to run out there and get him, and she ended up destroying her knee because it's hard. Our sand is
Yes,
soft,
it is.
and
Hard to run on.
she ended up getting a knee replacement not years later, but still it was because that knee was damaged from that. So be careful. You think the kids are fine, or they're playing out in the waves, or they're body surfing. Just keep an eye on people when they're out there.
For sure. And the current will carry you quite a ways up. So they're maybe out there. Maybe they're a swimmer.
Yeah.
Kids aren't really strong enough swimmers. I don't feel like there's a lot of adults that are strong swimmers that can still not keep up with those currents. So
And we should probably talk about rip tides. Just we didn't really, but rip currents. So if you should know this, that if you get sucked out by a rip current, that you should swim parallel to the shore until you get out of the rip. So don't try and swim in when you're in a rip current, because you cannot swim in against the rip current. It will suck you out even further. So you just swim parallel, and you will be able to tell when you can swim in.
yeah, definitely.
Stay safe. People drown every year.
Lots of people. I feel like there's a season for drowning here for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other one is we have a couple of dog beaches around here.
We love dogs.
And I
just
have
so
dogs.
you know.
I don't like the idea of taking them to the beach because
get
the sand and the
sandy.
wet, and you got to wash them.
Yeah.
But some people do, and dogs love it. They do.
They love it.
But just because it's a dog beach doesn't mean that you should let them run wild. There are still people that do take their dogs on a leash, and they're trying to enjoy sitting on the beach with their dog because maybe they've walked, now they're taking a rest, dog's getting some water, and then another dog just comes up into your space and it's just greeting you, hopefully. But you never know how two dogs are going to react to each other, and you don't know if the other dog is okay with other dogs, because not all dogs are okay with other dogs.
Right.
So you still need to control. It's like watching your kids. Watch your dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Watch your dogs.
Keep-
and
keep
also,
control of
there's
them.
people who are afraid of dogs. There's small children afraid of dogs. There's adults who are afraid of dogs. And your dog runs up, and it could be friendly, happy,
Yeah.
tail wagging, everything's great, but people are afraid. You are supposed to still have your dog on a leash.
Yes. And also, that brings up the topic of not all beaches are dog beaches. And I have seen animal services out citing people for walking their dogs on the beach.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to. Do people do it all the time? Yes. Do I get annoyed when I see people's dogs on the beach? I don't, because I have
don't either.
dogs.
Yeah.
And typically most of the dogs that I've seen, on the non-dog beaches have been under control and well behaved. So
If your dog poops, clean it up.
oh gosh, yes. And that goes for anywhere. Not just the beach.
If your dog poops on the neighbor's yard, clean it up.
There's a reason, and it's not just because you don't want to step in it, but
Yeah.
your dog can get germs from other dogs if somebody else didn't pick up their and parasites and worms and all sorts of things.
Whatever they're called, worms.
Yes, all of them.
Okay.
Let's
This is not
see.
girls or boys gone wild. So sometimes we go to the beach and we're like, are we in on your private time? We're watching your
This is
private
not your
time.
bedroom at the beach.
No.
I know you might be laying down on a towel
Yes.
or whatever, but
Or covered by a towel. Some people cover up by a towel. Like, we can't tell what's going on under that
you
towel.
know, they named a drink after that, and we don't need to see that. We don't need to see that.
We don't need to take it somewhere else. Like getting a little amorous out in the ocean. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, and not just that. So, it's the attire. I get it's the beach. I get it's hot. I get that they make bathing suits that are G-strings,
Minimal.
for instance.
Minimal.
Very minimal.
Yeah.
But, if you're at a beach that is not for adults only, and there's children, teenage boys, whatever, I don't know, maybe cover it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
We're going to get hate for this. We know we
are. And I know
people are going to say we're old. We're old. Yeah,
that I'm an old and I'm a prude.
Karens.
I'm really not. But my children don't need to see that, because then I have to answer the questions. Mommy, why can't I see her butt? Because
can I wear a bathing suit where you can see my butt?
No, nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see that. And men's bathing suits too. Although here most men wear baggies. So.
They wear like surf shorts.
Yeah, surf
board
shorts and baggies and stuff like that. But
occasionally,
once in a while you'll see the Speedo that is far too small. Far too small. Like,
if I
don't
can't
need to see the
fabric,
whole outline of all your.
It depends. Maybe I do. It depends. This does not work both ways. It just depends.
Yeah, it depends what you're showing
I'll
us.
get hate for that. But you can't look at me and tell me that you disagree. Okay.
That's awesome. And as you said, her teenage son enjoys the show.
He does. And it's not just on the beach, because I will tell you, just driving down A1A, because people are crossing over to go or come back, and girls of all ages, he sees these things. And, my husband will tell me stories of how, he just looks over and he's got this like shitty grin on his face and his eyes are all bugged out of his head. And he's like, do you like what you see, son? Apparently.
Oh gosh. I feel like we don't see that as much. Like when I grew up here, and we used to walk to the beach in our itty bitty bikinis, and nothing else, no towel, no shorts, no nothing. And I always love the story. Like we caused a car accident one time, which was fun. It's a good story. I was young then. I was looking good in my teeny weeny bikini. Yeah, caused a car accident. Let's see. You're next. You're next.
Digging holes.
Yeah.
So I know it's fun to go out and like bury yourself on the beach and, dig big holes for whatever. You're building a castle with a moat and all of this sort of stuff. There was recently the story where the child was killed because they remember they had
that was like
dug
in
a
South
hole
Florida.
for him. Yes. And it caved in and crushed the child.
Yeah.
So that's one reason not to do it.
Yeah.
That's kind of a freak thing. But the other reason is we have sea turtles. It's our
Don't
season
bury
here.
people in the sand. It sounds fun, but it's not.
It's a bad idea.
Safe. Yeah.
But the sea turtles too. They come up to nest. If they fall into one of your big craters, they can't get out. And then also the babies, when they hatch, if they fall into a hole that's been left there overnight,
they also cannot get out.
They can't get out. So if you're going to dig a hole, please fill it in all the way.
Yeah, make sure it's packed back down. Don't just throw a little sand
and also,
in there.
there's people that are out walking the beach and I don't know. It's just like it's a trip hazard. It's
just not a good idea.
Yeah,
it's not a good idea.
Yeah,
and the sea turtles. So we are like the largest sea turtle nesting ground on the. I don't know. It's not in the world, but it's definitely the eastern hemisphere. Maybe I don't know. It's we have a ton of sea turtles, and there's sea turtle walks. You can go on an actual sea turtle walk that's led by a guide through the Preservation Society.
Yeah, you can register for those at the Barrier Island Center. It's season
Barrier
for
Island
that.
Center. Yeah, you can do that. But if you are just walking in the evening, a regular flashlight is not allowed. You must use like a red light flashlight because that doesn't disturb them. And you also must stay, and I don't know what the exact distance is, but you have to stay a distance away.
Right.
Because if you get too close to a sea turtle when it's laying its eggs or going to lay its egg or coming up the beach, it literally, or if it's in the middle of laying its eggs, it will leave and it will not finish and it will not come back up.
Right.
It will just dispose of them in the ocean and next season.
Yes.
So we lose a whole
bunch
sea
of
turtle
babies.
nest. Yeah,
we don't want to do that. And they have like the lighting too. Like if you own a home that's on the beach, you have to get special sea turtle safe lights for your outside. And we'll see complaints all the time. There's a certain restaurant that violates repeatedly, and they get called out for it on the Facebook.
And they should be. I mean, use the red lights. And you're supposed to, if you live in a condo, you're supposed to close your blinds actually, so your white light from your inside your unit.
Yeah. They even have like special windows, like with sea turtle glass that you can get if you're on the ocean. So just stuff to keep in mind. What else?
The babies.
Baby sea turtles. So when you are out for your morning walk and you see some hatchlings that are, making their way back into the ocean.
So cute.
They're
They're
adorable.
tiny. Yeah.
Don't help them.
No.
They need to struggle a little bit through the sand because that helps build the strength in their flippers so that they can survive in the ocean.
Hopefully survive, because a lot
Yeah.
of them don't, but that's their best shot.
There are times when you might find a stray one. I know one time a bird dropped one in my driveway because we're right across the street from the
Yeah.
beach. So if it's still alive, you need to drop it at the Sea Turtle Preservation Society.
Yes.
They have like a little cooler that you can drop
Yes.
them in, and then that way they check when they open.
They nurse them and get them ready to be released.
Yeah, and they do like sea turtle releases a couple
it's
times
really
a
cool.
year.
If you're here, you can look and see when a sea turtle, the zoo does them,
Yep.
the Preservation Society and the
Barrier Island
Resource Center, and
Mm-hmm.
they rope it off and they put the sea turtle like pretty high up on the dune.
Yeah.
And everyone lines the thing, and
then they have like a tracking device on them so they
Yes.
can track like where
Yeah.
they go and all of that. So it's kind of cool.
It is neat to see one. Yeah, if you're here, go check that out. And
I recommend
donate.
it. We've
Yeah.
done it before. It is fun for the kids too.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, it's they're really big,
They're huge.
Yeah.
Sea turtles, yeah, so they're cool. And then what you said, sea turtles in distress. So there's lots of resources for sea turtles, and we love our sea turtles here. So yeah, be careful of them.
Yeah. And that goes for like not just the beach, but if you're boating in the lagoon,
Yes.
sometimes the sea turtles, because we do have the inlet down there where they
Yes.
can swim up, and I see often sea turtles in the lagoon and they get hit by boat propellers, so they're
Yeah.
scarred up. And just be mindful when you're out fishing
Yeah,
in your boat.
and they
or-
really should not stay in the lagoon. I don't
No,
think
they
it's
need to-
brackish water.
Yeah.
It's not the right water for them. They need the full salt water.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I
so
think that's all for today.
that's it. Yeah, we encourage you to come visit us and visit our beaches and stay respectful. That's
Yeah,
what we
stay
would say.
respectful, for sure.
Okay.
See you next time.
See you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.